Good day. Today we will talk about introductions and conclusions, the power of first and last impressions. Introductions and conclusions. Hook, background, thesis statement, introductions and conclusions are two of the most important sections of any written work. The introduction is your first opportunity to engage the reader, set the tone, and outline the direction of your writing, while the conclusion is your final chance to leave a lasting impression. A strong introduction typically consists of three essential elements: a hook, background information, and a thesis statement. The hook grabs the reader's attention from the very first sentence. It can be a provocative question and interesting fact, a quote, or a brief anecdote that draws the reader in and piques their curiosity. The goal is to encourage the reader to continue exploring your argument or narrative. Background information provides context for your topic, offering the necessary details or explaining the significance of your discussion. This helps the reader understand the issue at hand and prepares them for the main points in your paper. The thesis statement is the most crucial part of the introduction. It clearly presents your main argument or the central purpose of the paper. It functions as a roadmap for the reader, indicating what to expect from the rest of the essay. In contrast, the conclusion serves to wrap up the discussion and provide closure. It reinforces the thesis, summarizes the key points, and leaves the reader with a sense of completion. A well-crafted conclusion ensures that the reader doesn't feel abandoned after finishing the piece. Rather, they should feel that the ideas have been thoughtfully concluded and that the journey through the text has reached a satisfying end. Structure of a conclusion, but in a fresh way that reinforces your argument without simply repeating it. Next, it summarizes the main points of your work, drawing together the different strands of your discussion. This summary helps the reader recall the major insights or findings, reinforcing the importance of the work. Finally, an effective conclusion often ends with a final thought or a call to action. This could be a suggestion for future research, a thought-provoking statement, or a reflection on the broader implication of the work. The final lines should provide a sense of closure, making the reader feel as though the discussion has been completed. Tips for effective introduction and conclusion: be concise, be clear, be engaging. When writing your information and conclusion, there are several key tips to ensure effectiveness. Be concise. While it's important to provide context and detail, avoid over-explaining or including irrelevant information. Both the introduction and conclusion should be to the point. The introduction sets the stage for the essay, and the conclusion closes it efficiently. Be clear. Your thesis statement should be clear and unambiguous, ensuring that the reader understands the main point of your essay. Likewise, the conclusion should leave the reader with a clear sense of what you have argued or concluded. Ambiguity in either section can confuse your audience and undermine your overall argument. Be engaging. Both your introduction and conclusion should engage the reader, making them feel involved in the subject matter. The introduction needs to capture their attention, while the conclusion should leave them with something to think about. Whether through a compelling hook at the start or a thought-provoking statement at the end, Keep your audience invested in your work. In, in academic and professional writing, both introductions and conclusions play a pivotal role in creating a memorable and impactful text. A strong introduction piques the reader's interest and sets the stage for the argument, while a well-constructed conclusion ties everything together, leaving a lasting impression. By focusing on key elements such as engaging hook, clear background information, and a strong thesis statement in the introduction, and a restatement of the thesis, summary of points, and final thought in the conclusion, you can create balanced and coherent sections that bookend your work effectively. To ensure these sections are impactful, remember to be concise, clear, and engaging. These qualities will not only help structure your essay but will also enhance its overall persuasiveness and readability. Ultimately, mastering introductions and conclusions allows you to frame your ideas in a way that draws readers in and leaves them with a sense of resolution, strengthening the overall quality of your writing. An effective introduction explains the purpose and scope of the paper to the reader. The conclusion should provide a clear answer to any question asked in the title, as well as summarizing the main points. In coursework, both introduction and conclusions are normally written after the main body.